Now look at this guy. He's looking at you. Hey everyone, Dan here with ManCave Cookies, and today we are making monster cookies. Now, I can't take credit for this alone. This is inspired by Paula Deen's recipe. In fact, it is such a staple at my house. We have a cookbook that is like our favorite cookbook that we use. And I used to make this recipe so often that I printed it out and put it on the back of this binder. And so we're going to do a kind of a version of this today, but ManCave cookie style. So let's go through the ingredients real quick, and we'll walk you through this super easy recipe that produces about 3 dozen cookies. So it's awesome, and let's take a look. So we got our sugars here. These are, this is 1 1/4 cups of packed light brown sugar. We also have 1 cup of granulated sugar, and these are in the mixing bowl, and they're ready to go. And then we have 1 stick of butter. This is salted butter, so we don't really have to add extra salt. If you were using unsalted butter, then you would add maybe like a ½ teaspoon of salt. And then we have 3 eggs. These 3 eggs are going to really keep everything together. And then the recipe calls for 12-ounce jar of peanut butter. You can do crunchy or creamy. Today I'm doing crunchy or chunky peanut butter, and this is going to require me to really mix this up because this is all natural, but this is a 16-ounce jar, so we're going to need about 1.5 cups out of this to get this rolling. And then you're going to need 4.5 cups of oats. Now, this is old-fashioned oats, which is going to give you a heartier cookie, or you're going to need 4.5 cups of quick cooking oats, and that will kind of make it a little less hearty, more chewy and stuff like that. So, and then this is completely up to you what you do here. We have a ½ cup of chocolate chips. We have a ½ cup of M&Ms, and then you can also put in like a 1/4 cup of raisins, or mix it up, put in pretzels or something different. Now, I'm not doing the pretzels or the raisins because my kids, my daughter especially, doesn't like raisins that much. So I'm going to do a complete oatmeal raisin recipe on another video that you're going to want to check it. We'll put it here in the links. It's going to be awesome, and it'll be way to go. So let's get started. We're going to mix this all together and get going. So, oh yeah, we're also going to need a little vanilla as well for some flavoring. Measure with your heart. Of course, if you want to go by the exact recipe, it'll be linked below, or in my recipe guide that you can download for free, the Crumbs of Greatness. This is the coolest little recipe bit. And then the other thing you might want, gosh, I keep forgetting, these are little candy eyeballs. This is going to bring your whole cookie game to another level, because you put these on and you're going to really make your monster cookies awesome. So with that said, let's jump in and get this going. So we're going to mix the sugars and the eggs. We'll pour in the eggs. All right, let's mix that up. While that's mixing up, I'm going to get this peanut butter out and stir it up, because this peanut butter is got a whole layer of oil on it. And this chunky peanut butter is going to add a little nutty flavor to the... Oh, shoot, I just spilled all the oil out. Well, not all of it, but... Oh, goodness. A lot of people don't like this all-natural peanut butter that you gotta stir, and it can be a little frustrating, especially when you gotta mix it up. I should have used a knife or something, but I like seeing all that oil in there, knowing that it's legit, it's the real thing. And it's just nuts. And yeah, so that's just me. So we're gonna, all right, this is mixed up pretty good. All right, we're gonna next mix in the salt, vanilla, and peanut butter and butter, but we're not gonna add salt. So I'm gonna drop in. I tried softening the butter a little bit. Okay. Get a spatula. Get all that butter, all that goodness. So if you need to pre-soften your butter, you can do so. Sometimes I use the torch. You might have seen in some videos. This one I did with just putting it in the oh my gosh, the peanut butter is going everywhere. Okay, there's half a cup. Essentially, I could have just used the whole jar, I guess. Made it a little cleaner. I mean, whoa, what did I do? I made a whole mess here. But sometimes a good project isn't worth doing until you make a good mess. So, I don't know, this is gonna, yeah, that's the problem with the, these oil ones is all the dried up peanut butter is at the bottom. Well, I don't know what this was saying, because this is gonna take all, 12 ounces is gonna take all, this cup and a half is gonna take all 16 ounces here, so we'll see how it turns out. Monster cookies are like one of my favorites. And the reason why is because this is one of those cookies, it doesn't have any flour in it, which is super cool. And yet it comes together really nicely if you have like just one or two of these cookies. Oh man, it's gonna fill you up. So I think with this all natural peanut butter and the oil separation and stuff, that kind of takes up some of the probably measured 16 ounces. So I wonder if what you actually get is a little less. So I have friends that I've made these monster cookies before in the past, and quite honestly, so good. They rave about these cookies. And I have a couple people that they have declared that it is their favorite cookie. So, okay. I was clean as I go if you can, but regardless of whether you clean as you go or do it all at the end, you got to clean up your mess, right? Empty peanut butter jar. I can lick it. Wow. Okay, I'm a little oily. All right, now I took some vanilla from upstairs because my vanilla is not here. Actually, I made vanilla. It's in another video around here. It's actually setting up. It's going to take a couple more months before I can use it, but if you have like bourbon or vodka and you get some vanilla beans and get these cool little vanilla jars, you can make your own vanilla, and it turns out to be a great gift that you can give away to everybody. All right, so we're going to just measure. All right. Well, let's jump in and get this all mixed up. Good stuff. But simple as that though. I mean, we got the peanut butter, the sugars, the eggs, the butter, the vanilla. All the wet ingredients now are incorporating, getting really mixed in here, and then all you have to do is stir these in. And that can be, you might need some muscles for that. You might need a good workout day because this is gonna create a big batch. But the cool thing is, you whip this all together and it creates such a great cookie that if anybody loves peanut butter and they love chocolate, this is the way to go. Plus the little colored chips and the eyeballs really make it extra special. All right, we're gonna increase the speed so this butter gets mixed in a little better. All right, one more round on the mixing and then we're gonna rock and roll with stirring in the rest of the ingredients. Man, that pulse feature on this mixer is so cool. It's probably designed more for the like blender attachment at the top, but holy cow, does that speed things up. Gosh darn it, I'm making this in a hurry and I forgot the baking soda. It's baking soda, yeah. I forgot to mention baking soda at the beginning of the recipe. 2 teaspoons baking soda. You can mix them with your oats and then combine them in. Okay, I guess you could say the baking soda is kind of optional. So, great. And now we are off to adding in the sweets. Yeah. Stir these in real quick. We got the close-up cam here, getting a close-up video of all the mix-ins. Okay, that's looking pretty amazing. This is, using this all-natural peanut butter is awesome. I think I added a little more than it needed, but, and then, whoo. Okay, here we go with the oats. You're gonna have to really kind of work it in there. And at first it's not gonna look like you got anything going on, but at some point the dough will kind of start sucking in all these oats and it'll become kind of thick. I like kind of pressing the oats in a little bit, and then definitely scoop to the bottom so you can make sure you get any of that dough that is at the bottom kind of hiding away. Alright, ManCave cookies, a fan favorite, modified monster cookie. Okay, this is awesome. Wow, I changed arms. Getting my workout on that arm. I mean, it's not that bad of a batter. I'm just double checking to make sure I'm getting all of the oats. Okay, now this batter is cool because you can refrigerate it with most batters are, you know. And this oats are gonna only, see, I got a dry spot of oats down here. Yep. So you can refrigerate this batter. Got to watch out for these pockets of oats that kind of want to hide and not get mixed in. Bring them to the top. Push them in. Monster cookies. Are kind of cool. You can make these, you could take these M&Ms and make them like the Christmas M&Ms and make these like a Christmas cookie. Or I wouldn't be surprised if you added a little protein powder and maybe changed up the type of chocolate chips you use or the M&Ms you use and turn this into like a little trail mix cookie. So lots of functionality with Monster cookies, and I think they're just awesome. This is looking great, and now we're going to get them plated up onto the thing, and before we bake them, we're going to put in the Monster eyes. So let's jump to that. It's the greatest thing about having all this stuff in the ManCave, because there's all kinds of tools available to get something open. All right, so these candy eyes are stinking amazing. They're so cute too. So we'll just throw a couple there and we'll set this up. Teaspoon, tablespoon, it doesn't matter, whatever you prefer. Obviously, the tablespoon's going to make a bigger cookie, of course, and you can let's do some smaller ones just for this. Still made a big one. So if the dough is like pretty loose and like falling apart, you could refrigerate it for, 20 minutes or even 10 minutes might do the trick. It would get that peanut butter and butter that's mixed into this dough to kind of set up a little bit more. These will spread a little bit, so you want to give them a little distance on it. Room to move, room to grow. Okay, so sometimes they do fall apart, and if you need to use your fingers, you can do that. It's no problem getting your hands dirty. Okay, now the fun part. All right, take these little eyeballs and just add them to the top, push them in. You can do a single eyeball to make it kind of like a Monsters, Inc. character. You can do two. You can even use a couple of eyeballs and a chocolate chip or something to kind of make them more fun. Or if the chocolate chip is kind of in the way, move them. Form them up. I'm going to need some more eyeballs here, so just a couple more. I was making these for an event one time, and I knocked the eyeballs off the table, and I had candy eyeballs all over the floor. It was a problem. And the cookies turned out fine. My heart was a little sad. Okay, these are all ready to go, and you just need to fire up your oven to 350 and cook them from anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes roughly, depending on if you're using the quick oats. You want to do anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes. If you're using the old-fashioned oats, then you might want to go up to 12 minutes on these. Watch them when you get toward the end, and then you'll kind of get a feel for how they're ready to go. So let's put these in the toaster oven and see how they turn out. Okay, I screwed up a little bit. Toaster oven has that little convection going on. I let them cook too long, and as a result, I got half of these cookies that are really toasty on the top, but the convection melted the eyeballs. Look at that, they're melted in there. Now, these were done in a regular oven, 350, exactly 10 minutes, and they look perfect, they taste perfect, they're awesome. Cook them a little longer. If you overcook them, you're gonna get these guys. So, I'm gonna give one of the oops a try and see how it tastes. Look at his eyes. Here's the thing. We can all make mistakes, and mistakes are feedback. It's not quite a failure, it's a feedback. Think about it that way, because now I know using this little toaster oven, monster cookies are gonna get overdone. But look at that, it still breaks apart just nice and easy there. Still got the chocolatey and the M&Ms inside. That was really good. Let's take a look at another one. Now look at this guy. He's looking at you. So this, you can see almost right in here, when this comes out of the oven, it's gonna look a little underdone. But that's actually perfect for a monster cookie. And here's why. It'll break apart just like the other one. If you really like the tops toasty, that's fine. But these guys are great. And, yeah. A little softer. You get little pops of the chocolate chips and that M&M, but you're getting that heartiness of the oats, a little vanilla, and the peanut butter, of course. These cookies are fantastic, and they can even be kind of almost considered like a breakfast cookie. Not quite a protein cookie, but close enough, because they, after like one or two, you'll fill up. And they would go great with a glass of milk or even a cup of coffee. This is Dan with ManCave Cookies. Consider subscribing and check out the link below for my Crumbs of Greatness, 31 recipes in the ManCave Cookie Collection. Monster cookies are in there along with many others. Check them out. Hope to see you on the other side, and we'll see you on the next video.